stated earlier that yes, we did terminate grants. We have an appeal process. We have turned some back on. We are appealing. We are looking at some we have denied, some are still pending. I believe we have multiple appeals pending with New Jersey, and I would be happy to sit down with you and look at those appeals. I believe one is with the city of New Jersey. I know there are multiple ones pending, but of course, I would be happy to sit down with you or any senator or any House member and look at grants that have been terminated. I've been doing that, and I would welcome that.
But I will be the first one you sit down with, correct?
Absolutely. I'd love to sit down with you on that. I'll look at those tomorrow, Senator Booker.
Thank
Ladies and gentlemen, we are witnessing the complete collapse of the rule of law in America. The corruption runs so deep, so brazen, that the nation's top law enforcement official, Attorney General Pam Bondi, has just been hit with an immediate order for her arrest from a federal judge. This is not a warning. This is not a threat. This is a judge saying, arrest this woman now. The charge? Obstruction of justice and evidence tampering. Why? Because moments after a judge issued a bombshell order, demanding the Department of Justice turn over documents related to political prosecutions, Bondi was caught red-handed on video removing boxes of court-ordered evidence from the courthouse. This isn't just a scandal. It's a constitutional crisis. The Attorney General was destroying evidence to cover up her own weaponization of the DOJ.
First to OCDF. The most important point is that the work of OCDF is continuing. The executive office is being dissolved. We have said that, but the work of OCDF is continuing. The resources that were previously provided to law enforcement organizations through OCDF are now going directly to those organizations. I will assure you, no work will be sacrificed as a result of getting rid of the executive office of OCDF. The agents and the attorneys are working with Homeland Security. They're all working together as a unit.
Okay, Attorney General Bondi, I'm running out of time, and I'm going to put some questions in QFRs, because again, this is conservative think tanks and others are pointing about the literally over 1,000 people being taken off of things that I think would concern the public. I'd like to get that, but I also just want to quickly mention that for the record, I want to ask about the public corruption unit as well. We now have gone from a public corrupt integrity section that went from 36 full-time prosecutors.
Asterisk, let's break down the sequence of events, because the timing is damning. The judge had ordered the DOJ to comply with discovery requests specifically, turning over internal memos and communications that would prove whether prosecutorial decisions were based on Trump's political demands rather than actual evidence. This is the smoking gun the deep state has been hiding. Bondi knew what was in those documents. She knew they would expose that she had been using the federal apparatus to pursue Trump's political enemies. And what was her response? Instead of complying, witnesses saw her and her staff scrambling, looking panicked, removing not personal case files, but the very documents the court had ordered produced. The video evidence is irrefutable. It shows Bondi leaving the courthouse with boxes right after the court order was issued. That is textbook obstruction. Plain and simple. The judge didn't grant a surrender date. The judge demanded an immediate arrest because he believed Bondi posed an immediate threat to the integrity of the judicial process. She was destroying evidence right then and there. Asterisk legal experts are unanimous. This is not a close call. This is clear criminal conduct. Bondi was ordered to produce. She instead removed, period. The penalties are severe. Federal obstruction charges and evidence tampering charges carry a maximum of up to 20 years in prison. For an attorney general, the nation's chief law enforcement officer, to be caught doing this, it is the ultimate betrayal of public trust. She is facing decades in prison. The condemnation is bipartisan. Even some Republicans, recognizing that an attorney general destroying evidence is intolerable, are joining Democrats in demanding her disbarment and her arrest. Bondi has lost all political protection. She cannot claim this is a witch hunt when her own party is demanding accountability. Why would she risk a 20-year sentence? Because the documents she was hiding, the documents she was willing to risk prison to destroy, must prove something far worse than mere obstruction. They prove the systematic, high-level weaponization of the DOJ to persecute political opponents. The document destruction is a cover-up, and the cover-up suggests underlying crimes that are worse than the obstruction itself. Asterisk, this isn't just about Pam Bondi. This is about the entire future of our government. If the Attorney General, the one person sworn to uphold the law, is willing to commit crimes to hide a political cover-up, then the entire system is rotten to the core. The judge's decisive action sends a clear message. No one is above the law, not even the head of the Justice Department. This scandal will trigger the sweeping structural reforms that Congress has demanded for years. Bondi's downfall will become the justification for independent oversight and accountability mechanisms that will forever prevent future attorneys general from doing what she did. Pam Bondi is facing arrest, prosecution, conviction, and decades in prison, all because she chose to destroy evidence rather than comply with a court order. This is accountability in action. The deep state is being exposed.